The Secret of the Blessing. The detective story of Gioacchino Acerito's painting Isaac Blessing Jacob. Twilight was slowly falling on the ancient European city when the head of the painting museum, Mario Rossini, hastily locked the last door of the gallery and stopped at Gioacchino Acerito's canvas Isaac Blessing Jacob. The painting, painted in the 17th century, always seemed special to Mario. It contained some kind of secret. Isaac's gaze was penetrating, and Jacob seemed to know something more than the biblical story allowed. That evening, something alerted Mario. He noticed a thin scratch on the frame. There had never been one like that before. He ran his finger along the gilded edge, thought about it, and decided that he would look into this issue in the morning. As he left, he looked back one last time. The faces in the painting seemed to come to life in the semi-darkness of the hall. The next morning, restorers came to the museum. To their surprise, Acerito's canvas was missing from its place. There were no broken locks or glass, and the alarm had not gone off. The staff were at a loss. Such a valuable exhibit had disappeared without a trace. Mario, feeling a heaviness in his chest, called the police. The first to arrive was Commissioner Lauro Bianchi, known for his composure and ability to solve the most intricate cases. "Describe what you saw in the evening," the commissioner demanded. Mario told them about the strange scratch and his anxious premonition. "Who was the last one in the room after you?" "Only my assistant, Anna. She cleaned up in the evening." Commissioner Bianchi ordered all employees to be questioned and the surveillance cameras to be checked thoroughly. After reviewing the recordings, Bianchi noticed that the camera aimed at the room with Acerito suddenly stopped working for exactly 20 minutes, the time when the painting disappeared. Such a coincidence could not be accidental. Anna, a young and modest woman, was shocked by what was happening. She firmly maintained that she did not touch the painting and did not go near it at all. However, Bianchi found tiny traces of gold paint on her gloves, identical to the one Acerito used for the frame. In a conversation with a security guard, something else came to light. The previous evening, a black car without license plates was parked near the museum, and a stranger in a long raincoat was circling nearby. But no one saw anyone taking out the large painting. Even before the theft, the restorer Francesco, a specialist in 17th-century works, noticed something strange. There was an almost imperceptible crack on the frame, as if someone had used it as a hiding place. He reported this to the priest, who ordered a thorough examination of the painting's frame. Under the layer of gilding, a narrow strip of parchment was hidden. On it were incomprehensible signs and a cipher. Francesco assumed that this was an ancient message, possibly left by the artist himself. Bianchi recalled that Acerito was famous not only for his skill, but also for his love of riddles and symbols, and some historians suspected that his paintings contained secret messages. Studying Acerito's biography and the history of the painting itself, Bianchi discovered an interesting fact. In the 17th century, after writing Isaac Blessing Jacob, the artist was suspected of having ties to secret societies. There was a legend that one of his paintings encoded the location of the treasure. The commissioner invited art historian Sandra Verdi, a specialist in Baroque symbolism. Together they deciphered the message: Jacob receives blessing not through deception, but through wisdom. Find the light that falls through the glass and follow its shadow. There was a large window in the museum. The sun was shining through the stained glass and falling right on the floor near the wall where the painting used to hang. "Perhaps something valuable is hidden here," Sandra suggested. That same night, Bianchi, Mario, and Sandra entered the museum. The moonlight, penetrating through the stained glass, drew a complex pattern on the floor. Following the shadow, they discovered a secret hatch in the floor. Inside was a small niche, and in it, a strange wooden box. Having opened it, Bianchi found an ancient key and another fragment of parchment with an image of Acerito's painting, but with distorted details. Isaac did not have a staff in his left hand, and Jacob held something like a pen. The next day, the detectives received an anonymous message. "If you want to return the painting, bring the key you found to the park near the old church, exactly at noon." Bianchi set up an ambush. At the appointed hour, a stranger in a long coat approached him, the same one who was seen at the museum. "The painting does not belong to the museum. It contains Acerito's legacy," said the stranger. "Only the one who solves the riddle is worthy of owning it." Bianchi gave him a fake key, and he kept the real one. The stranger, realizing that he had been outwitted, tried to escape, but the police were ready. He was detained, and the painting was returned to the museum. When the canvas was returned to its place, specialists used the real key to open a secret section in the massive frame. Inside they found Acerito's will, where the artist talked about the meaning of his painting. Isaac's blessing is not only an act of giving a father's blessing to his son, but also a symbol of the transfer of wisdom received from God. Thus ended the case of the missing painting. Mario, looking at the canvas, realized that now it had become even more valuable, not only as a work of art, but also as a reminder that the artist's true legacy is the search for knowledge and the solution to the mysteries of the past. A few days passed. Visitors began to come to the museum to see the returned painting and learn about the solution that had shaken the entire city. At a special exhibition, Sandra Verdi spoke in detail about the symbols hidden in Acerito's work, and journalists never tired of asking the detectives questions. In the evening, when the museum was empty, Bianchi lingered by the painting. The moonlight was once again penetrating the stained glass, laying on the frame, as if inviting new discoveries. He wondered, how many more secrets can ancient paintings hide if you look at them not only with your eyes, but also with your heart? Mario joined him, and both stood in silence, realizing that they had touched upon something more than just an investigation. For the city, this story became a legend. Schools held excursions, inspired schoolchildren began to study art and history, and Bianchi and Sandra received thanks from the mayor's office, not only for the returned painting, but also for helping to remind, the past lives while we look for answers in it. Interactive for subscribers. Discover a treasure trove of ancient knowledge. This channel offers a series of 248 videos dedicated to amazing healing methods preserved in the Jewish tradition for centuries. Each episode is a separate story, a rare recipe and a secret that opens the way to health through the wisdom of ancestors. 248 unique healing methods, time-tested. Each video reveals one technique, explanations, and tips for a modern person. Interactive for subscribers. Invite 10 friends, organize 10 likes, and get the opportunity to learn how to turn a method of treating an illness that interests you, not yet published. Leave requests for individual topics in the comments to the video. Every Monday, the channel releases a special video dedicated to the joint reading of Tehillim, Psalms, where all subscribers combine their intentions and requests for support, help, and healing for themselves, loved ones, and the whole world. May sincere prayer and ancient wisdom accompany you on the path to health and harmony. Join us to discover secrets that have been kept for centuries and become part of a unique community where tradition meets modernity.